Hey everyone, we're back with the Great Ace Attorney. I'm sure you already know this, but since I haven't done the editing yet, I feel the need to say it anyway. So during episodes 1 and 2, my audio quality, I screwed up OBS settings, so the audio channels got mixed up, and so it probably sounds bad. So I took a short break out of depression. I believe I recorded it in early March, and now it is the end of August. So I have I have a brief rundown of what happened. I meant to check out just like episode 2 a little bit to, you know, catch myself up, but I forgot. But it'll be, look, it's a tutorial case. I remember the basics still. I know we just adjourned to March to go talk to like the professor guy, right, about something, and probably the Maya clone. And there's the guy with the baby on his back, the sergeant. Wait, was Sarge the one with the baby, or was it the other guy? There's an old guy. I forget what his deal was though. Anyway, 22nd of November, 11:38 a.m. Supreme Court of Judicature. I said that right. Defendant's antechamber 5. And we got Kyosuke. Did I make that reference before? He reminds me of Kyosuke from Little Busters. Excellent work, Yunosuke. The superb. My heart was in my mouth the entire time. It's almost unbelievable. I mean, looking at you in there. It's really cool that just off to the side he has someone like fanning him so that his headband moves. You are drenched in sweat, your eyes popping, your knees knocking, and you're grinding your teeth. It's a grim sight, but before I knew it, I started finding inconsistencies in the testimonies. I think you might have a natural talent for being a lawyer. Forget it, it's terrifying. Get through this, I don't ever want to see the inside of a courtroom again. He doesn't even know he's got 9 more cases. Although I have heard. So, my brother played this game. I talked to him just a tiny bit about it when he was playing it. I believe the 3rd case in either this game or the next game doesn't have a trial at all. Apparently. Ha 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 ha. Anyway, looks like we've exposed your Phantom Lady at last. Right. So I'm pretty sure she's the one whose design I saw, and that's like pretty much everything else I know about this game besides like Sherlock Holmes is in it, and Watson is a lolly. Miss Giselle Brett, a student from Great Britain. Is she? That's what I was trying to tell everyone from the start. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone. There's a young woman with him, like I've been saying all along. Yes, you have, haven't you? Might not be overly confident in the courtroom, but my powers of observation are one thing I'm sure of. He's so sure of that we put them in orange. Wait, did Yunosuke say that or Kazuma? Oh, okay, Yunosuke said that. So I could see that. So about this young, gentle woman. Thanks to our detective friend, she was hastily escorted away from the scene, it seems. I completely forget who the detective was. Let's just say Gum 2. Get it, Gum. It's funny. Do you see what happened with that? No, I didn't see any of it. I was just on my way out of the restaurant myself. Then on the floor next to Dr. Wilson's table, noticed there's a gun lying on the floor. Yeah, and I picked it up and I shot the doctor with it just to test if it worked. Notice there's a gun lying on the floor. Just after I bent down and picked it up, bang. Probably don't have to say the bang out loud. Didn't have time to think about where the sound of the gunshot had come from. The waiter ran over to me, looking as white as a sheet. Oh yeah, I remember. Did we get to use the card at all? Oh yeah, that's where it ended. That's okay. The waiter guy, he worked for. Was he for the police or was he for like a special agency? Here, please. I think that means he's like FBI or something. Okay, we don't have a lot of evidence, so let me just look over this. Okay, this will come in useful. This is probably definitive evidence. Post-mortem report. Died shortly after 2 p.m. Single bullet, close range. No exit wound. Okay, that's probably important. And there's his food. And wasn't there something about these 2 photos that we compared and something to make sense? Anyway, the waiter ran over to me looking as white as a sheet. He bundled me into some sort of small pantry next to the kitchen. Best thinking by the detective. He apprehended his suspect without a moment's delay. Yes, and because I was shut in the pantry, I have no idea what happened outside in the dining area. Oh, there you are! Well done, both of you. I assume this is the professor. Yeah, okay. And not Maya. Professor 𝐵𝓇𝒾𝓉𝒾𝓈𝒽. Well, seems I was right. The pair of you make an outstanding team. Exceeded my expectations, I have to say. Yes, it seems you planned this from the start. You arranged things so that I wouldn't be able to act as a lawyer in this trial. Our modern country is still in its infancy. Our justice system, even more so. Which is why I firmly believe that we need to send our brightest young stars overseas to learn all they can. That's what they did during the Meiji Restoration, right? They just sent a bunch of people over, came back, and then they just copied everything. And it worked. And they did it sometimes even better, I think. Want to avoid a situation that may have resulted in your study tour in Great Britain being cancelled. Hell, makes no difference. It's Ace Attorney, so this guy's evil, right? Lawyer or otherwise, I'm the kind of man who can't help his best friend avert the worst crisis of his life. I shouldn't waste everyone's time by going to study overseas anyway. What? What are you saying, Kazuma? So that's what your stance. I was afraid you'd feel that way. Kazuma! Well then, looks like it all comes down to you, young man. Oh no, they're looking at me. Don't look at me, I'm shy. To me? Yes, you need to prove your innocence and uncover what really took place in that restaurant. Must say, I very much want to know the truth. After all, I have a personal connection to this case. Come to think of it, said the same thing earlier this morning, didn't he? If you don't mind me asking, Professor, they're not gonna pull a, well, I don't want to spoil it, but you guys know what I'm thinking. I don't think they're gonna pull that right away. He's gonna be evil later. Did you know the victim? Yes, I did. As you're probably aware, Dr. John H. Wilson was a visiting professor at UMA, and it was I who invited him. Oh, I see. I didn't know that before. Anyway, you're about to go into battle. The victim was a university professor from Great Britain, a well-known one at that. Naturally, our government is looking to identify and punish the culprit as quickly as possible. Let's not forget who we're going up against. The gentlewoman whose involvement in our police bureau went to extraordinary lengths to hide. Yes, and I'm sure the prosecution will be using every tool at their disposal to quash your case. I have no doubt that you pair will be put up a good fight, right to the last. Best of luck! Thank you! Now then. Need you to run an errand at the university at once. Something I think we may need. What a spirit mediumery. Of course. Good luck, Kazuma-sama. Oh, we have honorifics? Defendant Naruhodo! Court recess is over. Please make your way back inside the courtroom at once. It's time. Let's get back to it, partner. Yeah, let's ride! Let's go in there and deal a decisive blow before those old fossils know when to hit them. Is the sword necessary though? Kazuma? What? Thank you. Really? What for? Well, if you hadn't said you believed in me, then pretty sure I'd already been found guilty by now. This guy better not die in case 2. Look, I have faith in you. As a lawyer, and as a friend. Coming for you, that means a lot. If I'm found guilty in this trial, he's really gonna give up on his dream of studying abroad. That's the kind of true friend he is. So this isn't just my battle anymore. Whoever we're up against, we absolutely cannot afford to lose. There's 100% dojins of these two, isn't there? Alright then. I'll save the thank yous for after the trial. You can treat me to one of those sukiyaki meals I like from Yume Cafeteria at University Street. I'm like 50% sure yaki means fried. Suki is the moon, so it's a fried moon. Yeah, there we go. Suki is the moon is like with a T. I think it's like su. I don't know how you pronounce it. With an extra large portion, of course. It's a funny joke. You'd have to be there to get it. 22nd of November, 1209. How long did that take? Supreme Court of Judiciary. I said that right. Courtroom 2. I'm never gonna say that right. Yeah, we got our get his name, but the pain clone. The court hereby resumes the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Prosecutor Ouchie. Ouchie, there we go. Everyone, just opponent the witness. Yes, Your Excellency. Against all odds. Thanks to a certain young stripling, the prosecution is now under rather painful scrutiny from the government. That's what he sounds like. Sorry. Let the government scrutinize. That's their job. It's nothing to worry about. It's highly unlikely that the good relations we forged with Great Britain will emerge from this trial unscathed. But you still think it's nothing to worry about when the new treaty breaks down and our nation founders? Would that be? Again, terribly sorry. I think that was a typo. The friendship between our nations is really so fragile that the treaty isn't worth the paper it's written on. You really have nothing to worry about, Ryunosuke. Yeah, okay, that should have been flounder. I had to make sure flounder was a word that didn't just mean fish. Okay, I didn't want to sound like an idiot, but yeah, there was the L. What do you mean? What did I sound different there? Who knows? A secret trial, anxiety over some foreign government's opinions, a bungled investigation, missing witnesses. Is this what our nation's justice system is? Is this the Supreme Court of Japan or of England? Shut up! Shut up, you jumped up rookie boy! You and your friend know nothing of the situation our nation finds itself in. By aligning ourselves with this great world power, we'll become strong. Diplomacy has never been more critical. Steady political maneuvering is what will secure our futures. He's just, you know. Won't deny that I'm no expert. I'm just a student. One who could arguably study harder too. No, don't get involved. But standing here now in our Supreme Court is one thing I feel very strongly. A country that fails to uphold the truth in its justice system is a country with no future at all. Well said, Ryunosuke. Despite the wide-eyed look of terror. You little brat! He got cut off. Thank you, counsel. This court is the pinnacle of our nation's justice system, exists solely for the pursuance of the truth. With that in mind, this trial will now resume with the next witness taking the stand. The visiting student from Great Britain, Miss Giselle Brett. Yes! Your Excellency! Oh, look at this totally not evil lady. Oh, that's a nice theme. Oh, what a delight it is to welcome such a fine gentlewoman from Japan. Why do they keep saying gentlewoman? Wouldn't lady be a better word there? From such a distant land. Tea! Someone bring English tea! In England, no discussions take place without tea. That's true. That's why we threw the tea into the harbor. Because when we did that, the British could no longer talk to us. They had to wait until the next shipment got here to America. And, you know, they gave us time to, like, you know, get freedom. Is that true? Yes, that's entirely true, Ryunosuke. I know my history. No idea. So, could we possibly trouble you to state your name and occupation for the court? Of course. My name is Satoyo Hosonaga. I've been working undercover as the head waiter at Le Carnival, but my true... Yes, we know about you already. Actually, I forgot about him a little bit. As Inspector Osonaga, where are your manners? In England, it's always ladies first. Is that true? No idea. More importantly, a little earlier today, you said something to me. You said your powers of observation are the one thing you're sure of. Oh, yes. I think I did, didn't I? Is he about to go Apollo Justice on us? Yet your description for this amazing sight was simply a woman. Sorry, Yunosuke, but powers of observation aside, your powers of description are sorely lacking. Guilty. So, dear lady, once again, if we may trouble you for your name and occupation, please. Do you speak the language? Oh, come on. They're going to save the face reveal for... Okay. She speaks in cursive. Wait, is that... Can you read that? Lou? I'm bad with cursive, okay? Lou... Lunum. I think that's just gibberish. That's why the detective was introducing himself first. Terribly sorry, dear lady, but... What? How do you speak in cursive? What, you just speak in a British accent? Like, what's British? Like, I was about to do like an offensive Australian accent. I won't. The lady says her name is Giselle Brett. She comes from London, England. She's a visiting research student, currently enrolled in UMA University's medical faculty. Oh my, what a rare treat to hear the dulcet tones of the delightful language of the British people. Man, I don't understand a word you said, but it's as beautiful as a hummingbird song. As far as I can tell. The detective is translating your words faithfully enough. Yes, I agree. You obviously do fine in England, Kazuma. Her English didn't rattle you at all, does it? No, you! You've clearly been paying attention in your English classes, Yunosuke. The court thanks the beautiful lady for taking the stand. Now, we may trouble you to confirm something, Miss Brett. 3 days ago, at a restaurant called Le Carnival, a grim murder took place. Court has been led to believe that you were dining there with the victim, Dr. Wilson, at the time. Is that correct? Yeah, okay, yeah, that's the second time we've had the capital U. That's what cursive sounds like, by the way. Oh, that's of. That's of. Uwer of in at she says yes. This could take some time. She 100% speaks the language, so even though she's studying here in Japan, she can't speak any Japanese. No. We got 2 lines and she's gonna be no. She'd like to apologize for disappearing from the scene. She says that she was due to make a presentation at the university, so she had to leave immediately. Interesting, when you're the one who engineered her escape. I was just following special orders from the Bureau. Well now, dear lady, would you be so kind as to cast your eyes over this photographic print? Seeing as you were so unfortunately present at the scene of the crime, could it be that your splendid eyes caught sight of the wicked perpetrator, perhaps? Apparently, it was a very frightening and sorrowful sight. Do you mean to say... Yes, it would appear the lady did witness the crime. The very moment when the accused, standing right there in the courtroom, shot the victim in cold blood. Aw, dang it. Yunosuke was evil the whole time. Order! Order in the court. Did you hear that, Your Excellency? Here we have an absolutely conclusive witness statement. Yep, completely conclusive. Well, looks like it's clear now. Clear who our real enemy is. Yeah, cut her down. But he actually drew his sword a little bit. Never noticed that before. Fortunately, I'll have to ask you to formally testify, if you please. Kindly tell the court the exact nature of this frightening and sorrowful sight you described. How evil do you think her eyes look? Witness testimony. Gonna make her whole hat go flying off. And the drills. Or like, those aren't even drills. What are, like, the buns? Frightening and sorrowful sight. Oh, come on. Don't speak cursive to me. I'd arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. The professor is unable to eat, so I ordered for myself only. A beefsteak. Oh, right. He had a dentist appointment, didn't he? After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor. They got into a fierce argument. Then not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun, shot him right before my eyes. Illuminov. I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprit. Under that dress, she has like 10 guns. This is a condemning testimony indeed. Look up, I think your name is Agent from Girls Frontline. That's what I'm imagining here. No, I didn't have any kind of argument with the professor at all. Quiet, you filthy wretch. Look at you, you black-hearted blackguard. Look at the Snow White Angel. Sure, even a dark-minded scoundrel like you can imagine whose words the court is going to believe. Still making the same mistakes, Yunosuke. You mustn't blurt out when you're goaded like that. It's a lesson you need to learn. Oh, but he's so annoying. True. Of course, I was at the scene as well. Took statements from this lady and the two witnesses who testified before, reported back to the bureau. It's decided that Miss Brett was not involved, so I let her go. Testimonies of the last two witnesses are completely worthless, however. Well, even so. On the day in question, the lady was wearing the same outfit as she is today. As you can see, there's nowhere about her person that you could conceal a firearm. I mean, there's a big hat with a swan on it. I think she could hide a gun almost anywhere in that outfit if she wanted to, yeah. Listen until the precise location where the witnesses to have hidden a gun can be shown. This is moot. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. Those are the witnesses' own words on the matter. That's ridiculous. If only I was allowed to lift up her dress, I could prove it. Don't think about doing anything rash, Yunosuke. This isn't that type of game. I didn't find the gun I picked up. They must put another gun there that day. You're right about that, which means this lady was hiding a gun somewhere. Yes, that's what we have to prove now. And to do so, we'll need to pull their testimony apart. Not a smile. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. Oh, yes, Your Excellency. The sham. Threatening and sorrowful sight. Well, we can't cross-examine the cursive? Professor is unable to eat, so I ordered for myself only a beefsteak. That looks good. For a while, the accused came over to greet the professor and they got into a fierce argument. Let's press about that.
Yes!
Yes! Never got into an argument with the professor. All I did when I noticed him, let's go over to say hello. Please don't get angry with me. No, I wasn't directing that retort at you. It's meant for the lady next to you. But anyway, as I said, I did not argue with the professor. But your words are in vain. Sorry? Miss Brett does not appear to speak Japanese. No, of course not. Japanese is such a cumbersome language anyway. Stop sipping. English is the future. We must all supiku. Inglishu. He speaks very good English. One if the prosecution will feel that way forever, only in the presence of a beautiful woman. Hell, that beautiful woman is telling a blatant lies with a completely straight face. To find something that will unravel her testimony, no matter how seemingly insignificant it may be. Anyway, it seems that after the argument, the accused briefly returned to his own seat. That part ties in with what you said, doesn't it? Yes. Still had some coffee to drink. The next time you got up after that was when I finished my coffee and stood up to leave. Don't evilly smile at me. And not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. Let's press that.
Yes!
Like I said, I did not shoot that gun. And like I said, there's no point repeating that assertion over and over. Well, I wasn't expecting to be attacked by my own side. Nevertheless, defendant, can't deny that when the shot rang out of the restaurant, you had a gun in your hand. Well, yeah, that's true, but all I did was pick up the gun I saw on the floor next to the professor as I was leaving that restaurant. In fact, yes, there was someone much closer to the victim than me at that time. The highly suspicious... Don't cut me off. That will do, you dirty, rotten scoundrel. Dirty? Your baseless accusations could very well cause an international incident, boy. Seems to me that your accusation is just as baseless as ours. What nonsense. The lady is merely stating what she saw. Are the eyes smiling too now? I think the eyes changed there. This is already an international incident as far as I'm concerned anyway. I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprit. Go ahead and press that.
Yes!
Maybe it's about the meeting time or something. It's all very well saying that, but can you prove it? Absolutely. Verified it personally. You checked under her dress? You verified it? Yes, immediately after the incident, I checked to make sure the lady was not carrying a weapon. Did you check in the bird? Distinctly remember her saying, "I'm not." That's all you did? You just asked her. Surely you carried out a physical search, Inspector? No. Why on earth not? The Honorable English gentlewoman clearly stated she did not possess a weapon. There's obviously no need for any further probing into the matter. Or there's no permission given for any further probing into the matter, perhaps. Think what you will, but if you're going to continue with this preposterous claim that the refined lady was concealing a firearm, the prosecution demands that you support your assertion with facts. Is it assertion or assertion? Assertion. In other words, he wants evidence. Oh, cursive. The lady wishes to point out that of course she wanted to stay and assist with the investigation. She's in a hurry to give a presentation at the university, so she was compelled to leave. Yeah, you know, she saw a professor die. It was very sad and frightening, but she had a PowerPoint to give. Not to mention the fact that your office has told you to get the woman out of there. Not get her out of there, just urged her to leave. The lady would like to point out that she's in no way meant to run away from the scene of the crime. Which is why she's only too happy to cooperate and testify here in court today, of course. Unlike a certain student who refused to admit when the game is up. You can at least have the courtesy to pay attention when I'm goading you. So she's maintaining that you got into an argument with the professor, at the end of which you shot him. Which is an out-and-out, totally unfounded lie. Still, her statement is very compelling. After all, she's an elegant, refined, young, and beautiful gentlewoman from Great Britain. Strike contrast to you, just from head to toe in a dull black school uniform. I was about to say, just exactly the same way you are, except for the flapping red ribbons. Well, anyway, this is our only chance to expose her testimony as the fiction that it is. If we can't do that, the trial's over. Even you with your thick skin must be able to feel the murderous looks you're getting from her around the room. Only too well. Feel half dead already. The fact that I can't see a single inconsistency in her testimony doesn't make me feel any better either. First thing to do is press on any of her statements that seem even slightly off to you. Do that, an opening will present itself. I promise you. Need to expose the true face of this exotic foreigner that's hiding behind the mask. What I should be aiming for in this cross-examination. So it's one of the first two. Why is it slightly late?
Yes!
After 2 p.m. in fact. Really quite lunch, isn't it?
Objection!
You don't keep up with the latest fashions from Britain, do you? Late lunch gowns are en vogue. Isn't that right? No. A decisive English no has quite a sting to it. The gentleman is currently working in the victim's research laboratory, it seems. It was apparently a daily occurrence that they would lunch together. But on the day in question, victim had another appointment at the clinic first. Yes, which we can prove from the medical report card that was submitted as evidence earlier. That's right. Miss Brett and the victim went to lunch following the victim's treatment, which is why he was so late. Yes, that all makes perfect sense. Such wonderful logic. What a shining example of English intelligence this fine gentlewoman is. Both arrived at the restaurant. What happened next? Of course, it's the last one I pick. Is there something off about the beef steak?
Yes!
He's unable to eat, you say? That was because he just had a tooth removed at Hot Clinic, correct? That's right. You're supposed to actually check with the witness before answering. Was Miss Brett aware of that fact? It seems so, yes. She'd heard that the professor was to have some dental treatment. That would mean that it was you who ate the steak pictured here. Is that right, Miss Brett? That's right, yes. The print you have there shows the table exactly as it was left after the horrifying events. Exactly as it was left? Okay, something's wrong with the picture. Dear me, what a harrowing experience! To travel to a distant land on the far side of the world and be embroiled in such a tragic incident. Have no fear, my dear lady. She'll crush the evil fiend that has subjected you to the terrible plight. So the victim, Dr. Wilson, had nothing. I really regret doing that high-pitched voice with Ouchie already. Is he? I guess he's not named Payne in this, is he? So the victim, Dr. Wilson, has nothing to eat or drink at all. That's right. Other than some carbonated water. Just water? Yes. The professor is unable to eat, but he's been given permission to drink water. So it appears that the diners toasted their lunch with a glass of water each. Each raised a glass of carbonated water. Wasn't there wine on the table, or what do you think, Yunosuke? It's very meaningful. Why is he looking on his hand? That last statement of yours, Miss Brett, has a profound bearing on this case that I'll get to later. What is this profound bearing? Yes. The significance of the statement will become apparent when the time is right. Yes, we have to do the gameplay. The defense calls for the witness's last statement to be formally added to the testimony. Well, sidestep, counsel. Very well, Miss Brett. Kindly repeat what you just said to be added to your official testimony. Gladly, she said. That's Brisley and Kazuma. Gonna remember that one. Which one? Significance will become apparent when the time is right. He really used that phrase. He's gonna be repeating that for the rest of the series, isn't he? I hope there are some more useful tips you're picking up from this experience than that, Yunosuke. They said cheers over a glass of carbonated water. For this one? Yeah, there's only one glass.
Yes!
What was that look? That's it! Let me just confirm something, please. It's to do with this photographic print. Ooh. Just a short while ago, you spoke of this print showing the victim's table at the crime scene. That it was exactly as it was left. That is correct, the lady says. Well, that is, it's odd, very odd. I have to point to this picture to say what's odd. Hear me, what's odd is the defense's inability to express itself. Yunosuke, what is it about the print that looks odd to you? Well, obviously, it's the cheers. The cheers? Yes, that's not even a sitcom yet. How did they know how to say that? Miss Brett just told us that she and the professor said cheers over a glass of water. Cheers is a sitcom, right? I have never seen an episode of it. But if that's true, there should be 2 glasses on the table, not 1. Ah. You're quite right, Counsel. There's only 1 glass pictured here.
Objection!
Then were we supposed to be impressed by this nitpicking over minutia? What possible difference does the presence or absence of a glass make on the case?
Objection!
Minutia, you say? Could it be that the detective here removed a glass from the table to conceal the lady's presence? Of course not. I would never do something so reckless. But there should have been 2 glasses on the table. Or are you gonna try to tell me? You can clink with only 1! She drank straight from the bottle. You're quite right. Certainly took 2 glasses to the table. Inspector, what did the lady say? It would seem that it was Miss Brett who took the glass from the table. What? She brought it to the PowerPoint. It's all so terrifying, everything that happened. I panicked and thought I should try to hide the fact that I've been there at all, she was saying. Good gracious! Sorry! That's how English people say sorry. There, as I assured the court before, this is of no consequence at all. Oh, please. We must remember that the student had just murdered this lady's lunch young companion before her very eyes. Who could blame her for concealing a glass or 2 in her state of disarray? That's absurd. Okay, so where's the glass now? Oh, really? So do I take it that you are now going to accuse this vulnerable, young, and beautiful woman of mischief? What? No. This can't be put down to mischief. I'd like to know exactly how the lady took the glass from the scene. It would seem that she slipped it into a small handbag she was carrying. A handbag that could have had a gun. A handbag, you say? Yes, Your Excellency. Small handheld pouch commonly carried by well-to-do women in England. So the beautiful lady has very graciously explained how and why she removed the glass from the scene now. However, the fact remains that this glass has absolutely no bearing on the case. Students been trying to confuse the court with logical reasoning. We don't do that here. We don't use lateral think. But in the end, it comes to nothing. No more pretentious accusations. You've wasted enough time already. Indeed, the lady has offered a satisfactory explanation as to why she removed this glass. You add that to the court record and present that when she said she couldn't have shot him. Then henceforth we can consider the matter to have no bearing on the case. Counsel for the defense, are you in agreement? Well, I don't know, really. You want to pursue this matter further? You're gonna need to show that it has some deeper significance. Yes, you're right. So she took the glass away in her handbag. There's a deeper significance there. It's the handbag. Wait! Lady put the glass in her handbag, you say? Yes, we've said that like 2 minutes ago. Yes, do try to keep up. It's already been explained to the court that all English gentlewomen carry handbags for small items. Let me see. He's comparing pictures of handbags. A little while ago, Miss Brett said the following. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. Okay, her hat's gonna fly off. But what she forgot to mention was her handbag. In which it would be perfectly possible to conceal a gun. Okay, play pursuit. You're right! Well done, partner. The feeling you'd pick up on that too. Oh, you don't get to be a know-it-all, mister. What are you insinuating, you vile blackguard? It's really very simple. The gunshot was heard when the defendant picked up the gun from the restaurant floor. He didn't fire that gun. We can deduce there must have been another firearm at the scene. The true murder weapon, if you will. You can't seriously be suggesting? Inspector Hosonaga. Yes. Did you or did you not search Miss Jezebel Brett's handbag on the day of the murder? No, sir, I did not. As I thought. In other words, another gun, the one that was actually used to kill the professor. Hold on, I want to check OB. Yes, you're doing good. Could have been hidden in Miss Brett's handbag. No! No pursuit yet? Order, order, order! What is the meaning of this, Inspector? The meaning of what, Prosecutor 𝐵𝓇𝒾𝓉𝒾𝓈𝒽? Why on earth did you not have the lady open her handbag and show you the contents at the time? Thanks to your bungling incompetence, now she has to endure these uncomfortable accusations. Brilliant work, partner. Now we have a chance to expose the real woman behind the mask. You think so, Kazuma? Oh, he's dying. That's actually a good chance for me to clear my throat. Oh, what a sorry situation. Clearly, you have no faith in the police. He just said he didn't search it. As I said, oh, he's gonna fold the I did not search the lady's handbag after the shooting. Simply because it was unnecessary. Unnecessary in what way? I don't think the student lawyer, really? That's not sanitary. I have a piece of evidence here that I had completely forgotten about. This photographic print. This print is of a photograph that I thought would be prudent to take immediately after the shooting. That's convenient. So it's a see-through bag. As you can see, it clearly shows Miss Brett's handbag. Well, I never. You can see right through to what's inside. That's right. Apparently, mesh work bags like this are all the height of fashion in London at the moment. So the contents are clearly visible. Exactly. So there are no need to search the lady's handbag. If there had been a gun inside, it would have been immediately obvious. Ah! As you can see, there's nothing to imply Miss Brett's guilt here. Thank you for helping to prove that. No, you're Hodo-san. He's dead! Order! Order! Inspector Hosonaga, you'll submit that print as evidence at once. Certainly, Your Excellency. Photograph of handbag has been entered into the court record. Think you've long enough to cross-examine the witness counsel. Well, I wanna go back to that. There couldn't be like a hidden compartment in there because the back isn't see-through, but I guess the front is. So I was thinking like, well, I mean, I guess, wait, what is that? That's gonna be relevant later. I don't know. It's a bowl-shaped birthmark. Court has now shown considerable evidence. The photographic print just submitted into the court record appears to have no further significance. Satisfied that there's no longer any room for doubt in this matter, I must make my ruling. Indeed, there's only one logical conclusion. That the pathetic rookie slumped over the bench before us is the only possible perpetrator of this crime. I thought he was going to do a push-up. No, just when I thought I was beginning to turn things around. But a worse situation than I was at the start. Kazuma? Thinking. I'm sorry, Yunosuke. No, call me partner, call me partner. Now that the cross-examination of the witness is over, there's no way to force the trial to continue, but Maya, or not Maya, is going to show up and save the day. What? You mean, this is it? I must say you put up quite a fight. Where are you, rookie student? But the weaker meet while the strong eat. You're wasting your time. It's no way to defeat true justice. 𝐵𝓇𝒾𝓉𝒾𝓈𝒽 under your heart's content? Content. I never really thought about it. Content is spelled the same as content. From the inside of your cell. This can't be happening. We're really gonna be found guilty of the crime that I didn't commit? And Kazuma. His dream of going to study in Great Britain will slip through his fingers. Kazuma. What? There really no chance now of turning this trial around? Isn't the series called like, well, I guess every case is called Turnabout something. But isn't that what it translates to in Japanese? You heard the judge. There's nothing about that last photograph the detective produced that we can contest. Which means no basis on which we can argue for the trial to continue. Very well. I'll now proceed immediately to the ruling. Seems you'll be able to report to the British government on time after all. That smug little Ryunosuke Naruhodo considered all the evidence placed before me. Hereby find you. Yes! I saw him doing that thinking look. Wait! Your Excellency. Ryunosuke, I don't think you can rule on this case yet.
Objection!
This amateurish is getting tedious. When His Excellency deems that the trial is over, he gives his ruling. That is the most basic protocol of the courtroom.
Yes!
Your Excellency, just a moment ago you said this. The photographic print just submitted appears to have no further significance. There is no longer any room for doubt on this matter. I must make my ruling. Now, that means if there's a problem with the evidence, some significant detail, then ruling on the case at this time would be out of the question.
Objection!
This is blatant straw clutching. Look at the photographic print. All it shows is the handbag the gentlewoman was carrying on the day in question. There can be no problem with this evidence. Better know that what you're doing, Ryunosuke. I understand your objection, counsel. Certainly, the new evidence submitted by the detective has not undergone the court's scrutiny. However, I fail to see how you can glean any new information from this handbag. What is that? Is that... Is there anything in the court record? Like, did he have like a really tight bowl-shaped watch on? Oh! His hand got pushed against that? And I assume that's like a hot plate, so it probably burned. I'm having trouble seeing what that means, but my thoughts exactly. Really, the prosecution is becoming tired of this rookie's desperate wheezes. You say I'm desperate, but this isn't a wheeze. Something about this photograph which just doesn't seem right. I don't think I could put my finger on it. Very well. I'll grant the defense one final opportunity. What? But be warned. Oh, he wants to hit someone with that hammer. I'm unsatisfied by your response here. The trial will be over with immediate effect. Do I make myself clear? Yes, Your Excellency. So, take another look at the photographic print Inspector Hosonaga submitted before. No, I got 5 of them. You're identified for the court where in this print we see the significant detail to which you alluded. Can I not double click?
Yes!
Look at this here. There's a very unusual mark on the victim's wrist. That is true. Looks almost like a burn of some description.
Objection!
Dear me, I was pondering what new piffle? Piffle? Is that a word? You'd come out with a burn, you say, on the victim's wrist. Clearly, that has nothing whatsoever to do with the magnificent lady's handbag. Yes, that is a burn mark. You're right. Go on, Inspector. The police coroner also noticed it when he was performing the post-mortem examination. It was deemed unrelated to the cause of death, so he didn't note it in his report. That's convenient, Edgeworth. What did I tell you? In any case, we have no idea when the victim suffered this burn, do we? No possible way of knowing either. The more I look at it, the more I find myself intrigued by the curious shape of this mark. However, as Prosecutor 𝐵𝓇𝒾𝓉𝒾 points out, unless a firm connection to the case can be shown, cannot allow any further time to be spent on the precise details of this burn. Cursive? Excuse me, Your Excellency. But see, Miss Brett has a lunch appointment with the Dean and the other university staff. She would like to know if she may be excused from the stand now. Oh, of course, dear lady. We shan't hold you up any longer. But His Excellency is about to give his final ruling anyway. What's your thinking on this, Ryunosuke? Do you believe this burn does have something to do with the case? Be honest, I already figured it out 10 years ago. If I don't keep pushing, then it's all over. So I was thinking I should keep digging and digging. Hope that I might uncover something useful. Yes, you're right. I am? We can just link that burn to the case? We can do that. We might be able to prise the shutting door back open again. Just give up, Counsel. You can't possibly hope to do that. Indeed. Pray that without evidence, can't allow you to pursue what is little more than a conjecture. But if we had evidence that irrefutably linked the burn on the victim's wrist to the case, then you would allow it? I would, yes. Tell the truth, I didn't notice that burn. As soon as you pointed it out, what I did notice was the color draining from Miss Brett's face. I thought that was my superpower. Really? I have to find some link between that burn and the case. This is the moment of truth. It's time to find some evidence that proves what the burn really means. So then, the defense will now present its evidence to the court. The evidence that demonstrates an inextricable connection between the victim's burn and this trial. And it's this one? Yeah.
Yes!
Yes! What's this, Counsel? Yet another print? Yes, Your Excellency. I believe photographic prints are an amazing invention. So, like, I'm still trying to picture how he gets that burn. Is it before or after the shooting? Because, like, it's gotta be after, right? The plate would have been on her side of the table? So, he'd have to have been reaching over? And then she shoots him? When we humans look at a scene, we miss things. But in a photograph, things we may have overlooked at the time are recorded forevermore. Do hurry up, rookie! What are you trying to say? Oh, shut up, 𝐵𝓇𝒾𝓉𝒾𝓈𝒽. I'm trying to wax poetic. The inconvenience this poor lady any further really would be quite inexcusable. Actually, we may need you to stay with us a little longer if you don't mind, Miss Brett. You see, it's very clearly visible in this other photograph. How did the victim come to have that unusual shaped burn on his wrist? The reason is recorded here forevermore. I really like the word forevermore. What? How?
Objection!
You can't fool me with your little bluffs, boy. That's your game? Let's see how it plays out. Show the court exactly what you mean. What is it in this photograph that explains the reason? Yeah, look, come on. It's obvious.
Yes!
The beefsteak? Actually, the point is the metal plate the steak was served on. The metal plate? Oh! Excellency, are you all right? No, you just had a stroke. As you can see, there's an emblem on the plate. I would guess it's some sort of trademark of Le Carnival. Ah! This emblem on the plate and the victim's burn are exactly the same shape. I actually don't see how this gets, like, obviously it's relevant. So I don't see it. Ah! Ryunosuke, you genius. You're spot on. which means the victim must have suffered this burn while he was present at the restaurant.
Objection!
But even if that is the case, you can't know if it happened on the day in question or not. Could have been the day before, or the day before that. Most likely happened at some other unrelated time. Well,
Objection!
we have proof he wasn't at the restaurant before? Sadly, Prosecutor 𝐵𝓇𝒾𝓉𝒾𝓈𝒽, the chances of that are extremely slim. Thanks. Why? The outline of the burn is clearly discernible. Okay, yeah. Such a serious injury would have caused quite a commotion in the restaurant. Wouldn't you agree, Inspector Hosonaga? Can't imagine having missed such a terrible disaster, certainly. But, I would say, looking at the picture of the wound, that it wasn't suffered very long ago. And although it's not a particularly large burn, it's extremely well defined, as the defense is just pointing out. This is no mild burn, that's for sure. Can you be more specific, Inspector? Hell, let's see. The plate was at around 90°C. A burn like that would have, what's centigrade? Would have taken around 3 seconds. It's inconceivable that the victim wouldn't have let out a scream of pain then. Been investigating at the restaurant for several weeks already. Not heard anyone scream at all. So it had to have been after he got shot. The head waiter of the carnival, I can testify to that without hesitation. But you're a detective, not a waiter!
Yes!
Yes, he is. There you have it. Something isn't right here. As the detective said, anyone who burnt themselves on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds would scream in pain. No question of that. Yet Inspector Hosonaga never heard the professor scream. Not on that day and any before it. That's right. Strange thing is, the day he was shot, I didn't hear him cry out either. What are you suggesting? Hell, the professor carelessly laid his wrist on the plate for anything like 3 seconds that day. That would be beyond careless, I think, Counsel. And the rest of us in the restaurant, myself, the sergeant, the old antiques dealer, all of us would, without any question, have heard him scream. I remember the antiques dealer like hinting at something. I forget if that was addressed ever. I don't remember what it is though. Also, he looks kind of stupid just staring off into space like that. Wouldn't you agree, Prosecutor 𝐵𝓇𝒾𝓉𝒾𝓈𝒽? Well, yes, I suppose. So the question is, why didn't a single person hear Dr. Wilson scream? I almost don't believe it. Yunosuke, do you think? Can it really be true? Never dreamt we'd have arrived at a conclusion like this, but starting to think that maybe been led into a terrible trap. What? There's only one explanation I can think of to make sense of this apparent impossibility. The day in question, when he suffered the burn to his wrist, Dr. Wilson was already deceased, or well, no man can remain silent while his wrist was burning on a piping hot plate for 3 hours. The music didn't change, was I wrong? The other possibility is he was poisoned when he was cheered, so he was like, you know, not dead yet. So, you know, asleep. It's clearly impossible. Apart from in one particular situation, although like there's no evidence of poison, so. Counsel, are you suggesting? Yes, it's only possible. The man was already dead. Already dead? Knowing what we know now, it's the only possible explanation. When the beefsteak was brought to Dr. Wilson's table that day, the professor was already dead. Wait, like he got like weakened at Bernied? That's madness! Order, please. Counsel, explain this absurd notion at once. Victim was killed by a gunshot. That's right. That's absolutely right, Your Excellency. This is just a ridiculous ploy by the rookie student. Clearly has no... Hold on. Do we have the autopsy? Time of death shortly after 2 p.m. Without... Oh. Single bullet fired at a close range. Okay, so the question is, did Yunosuke actually talk to him, or was he talking to the what's her name? Mask lady. What's the pun, by the way? Giselle Brett. Giselle Brett. Giselle. I don't know. I'll Google if I don't find it out after this. Anyway, this is just another ridiculous ploy by the rookie student. Clearly has no grasp of the facts.
Objection!
Like, there couldn't have been another gunshot in the restaurant. So he died of some other cause, and then she shot him to make it seem like a... I don't even know. No, Professor Algae, it is you who has no grasp of the facts. I beg your pardon? As soon as it became apparent that the victim had suffered that burn while at the restaurant, this whole case was turned upside down. Or have you not grasped that yet? Your Excellency, the court must hear from this witness again. If it's true, as we now believe that the victim was already dead before the gunshot was heard, it's highly likely that Miss Brett knows something about it. Incredible. Certainly didn't anticipate this twist of events. Sorry to say, Miss Brett, that you'll have to forget your luncheon engagement. No! But, Your Excellency! The justice system in our country may be in its infancy, but rest assured, all reasonable doubt must be dispelled before I'm prepared to pass judgment. I love this judge. He is, as the kids say, based. You know, compared to the, main game judge who's just kind of, he's just kind of hanging. No idea what's going on half the time. Thank you, Your Excellency. Don't you smile at me. What was that smile? Yes, of course. I mean, I know it. I'd be delighted to help, especially if it helps. Oh no, don't show it. If it helps the relations between my country and yours. Ah, Miss Brett, you speak Japanese? They're gonna show your face. Well, of course I do. Studying in your country, after all. But then, why have you been speaking through an interpreter until now? My mother tongue? The Queen's English, the most refined and elegant language in the world. As a gentlewoman, I try to avoid speaking in your vulgar tones as much as possible. But it seems the men in this land possess none of the chivalrous virtues of English gentlemen. So I can see that I shall have to lower myself to communicating with you all on your own level. Oh, well. You're the epitome of a true English gentlewoman. We're truly honored by this. This lavish consideration you so graciously afford us. I see. In that case, Miss Brett, I'll now ask you to testify in your own words about the events leading after the death of the victim, Dr. Wilson. So, probably gonna hear your own words on the matter. Things are getting interesting, Yunosuke. Okay, that's a good stopping point. Can I quick save here? Victim's death. Can I full save? I can just full save whenever? Yo, that's sweet. I remember the DS games had like a weird, like quick save system instead, but I just used the emulator, so I never really saw how it worked. Okay. Thanks for watching, everyone. Oh, we're an hour in. Jeez, okay. That is, oh, I thought it was like 40 minutes at best. But I will see you guys next time for what might be the finale? We still have to introduce like Maya. So, but there's probably like 2 cross examinations left, I'd say. We'll see. See you guys next time. Bye.